I've always held my emotions inside and was a ticking time bomb that would have meltdowns whenever things got too overwhelming, and that would result in a lot of self-gaslighting and sometimes even unintentionally hurting people's feelings. Hello, my name is Natalie. I'm currently working as a junior art director at a PR and digital agency. I grew up in a non-Christian family, and my parents and I weren't religious, but we always believed that there's a higher power at work. In 2017, my colleague Brian invited a few of us from work to Hope City's second birthday celebration. I can't remember as to why I naturally agreed to go, but I saw this as an opportunity to get out of my comfort zone and see what church is about. I remember my first time at Hope City. It felt very comforting and people were very welcoming. The message shared on that day was quite insightful and relevant, and I think that was one of the reasons that encouraged me to visit again in the following months. Fast forward to 9 July 2017. It had been a challenging season leading up to this day. I've been feeling lost, did a lot of overthinking, and experienced anxiety attacks. I've always held my emotions inside and was a ticking time bomb that would have meltdowns whenever things got too overwhelming, and that would result in a lot of self-gaslighting and sometimes even unintentionally hurting people's feelings. Despite going through all these feelings, I still gathered up the strength to bring myself to church, perhaps seeking it as an escape from whatever was going around me. As service was about to come to an end, Pastor Joel said, "If you're ready to let God into your life, please raise up your hand." It went on for quite a while, and the next thing I know, I felt a slight push behind me, and somehow subconsciously, I raised up my hand. I remember turning back to see whether there was anyone behind me, but no one was there. So that was quite an interesting experience that was very unfamiliar to me. After that, someone from church prayed for me, with me, and I remember tearing up, but suddenly feeling so much lighter. It was as though the burden I brought along with me to church had suddenly been lifted off my chest, and it was such a relief. Ever since that day, I felt a bit different. I would always pray to God for patience, strength, and wisdom to help me through the tough times, and I believe this taught me how to handle my emotions better, and I feel much calmer these days. I still get anxious from time to time, and I've made mistakes as well, but I still believe God looks out for me in the most unexpected ways. I would sometimes question myself whether it's just a placebo, and whether the way I pray to God is right. But I've learned that there's no right or wrong way to pray, as long as it comes from a genuine relationship with God. As a reminder of this path I've chosen, I set the daily verse of the day notifications on the Bible app. So every morning as I wake up, the first thing I would see would be the verse of the day. And I usually use it as a guide for me to how I could go about my day or my week. There will be times where the verses felt timely, as though it's a coincidence, but I believe that that's God's way of communicating with me. One of the scriptures that I hold dearly to my heart is from John 14, verse 27. "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." It's been 6 years on this journey so far, and I still have a lot to learn, but God has been good to me, and I hope to continue living in His light.